Hey guys, happy Saturday! Oh my goodness, it is so humid and warm outside today, but it's not like super sunny. I mean, it's like kind of sunny. I have a feeling it's probably getting ready to do one of those like hot summer rains, which I love. Anywho, so we have some good stuff lined up for us today. Just a couple of things. One, creating a crystal grid, and there is a poem that I would like us to create, but I want us to do like some stuff together today, like create like a community crystal grid like we've done before, and create like some community poetry. I thought that would be really fun. So we get to be uber creative today. I just thought that would make for a fun live chat, and I'm actually gonna bust out a snack because I'm a little, oh hey Loki, how's it going? Loki wants to get under the altar right now. Loki? Or not. um, so anyway, it's snacky time. So I have my crispy seaweed snack from Korea. It is one of my favorite snacks. It's like two pieces of, like, there are these little strips and they're seaweed. Paperback Palacios, hello, hello. And there's like slivers of like almonds and sesame seed in between like each like little seaweed, and it's like held together with soy sauce. It's really freaking delicious. So um yeah, there's a Lokester back there. Loki, can they see you? Do you guys see the glowing eyes? Okay, well, Loki's just gonna keep my altar safe, I guess. All right, well, so let's just wait for a few more homies to join us. And I think first off, what we'll do is maybe we'll start with the crystal grid. But yeah, I'm hoping that you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. Let me know how your Saturdays are going thus far, if it's sunny, if it's raining. My bestie out in Belgium said that it's raining today, but I think it's they were in need of some rain because I hear they're having like some sort of crazy heat wave out in like Belgium and France and some of the European countries. So I was like, rain. She's like, thank you. So anyway, here's my little seaweed snacks. I have come prepared today. I got my tea. We are ready this morning. Well, for me, it's the morning. I don't know what kind of time zones you guys are in, but for me, it's just after 10:30 a.m. The snack is so good. Anywho, while more people pop in, I have brought off to the side. I don't know if you guys can see. Hold on. Let me move this. See, all those bins contain all of my crystals. So that when we create our crystal grid today, we're going to be picking crystals. Well, you guys will be picking the crystals. I'll be forming them into a grid. And then that way, and I'll make sure that you guys can see it. So if you want to write down and try to recreate this at home, or if you want to take a screenshot of it, or, whatever you want to do, like use it. Chances are pretty good I have the crystals that you guys want me to pick, so that we can create that crystal grid, so I think that'll be fun. I've been really feeling this, like, I don't know, it's just like a lot of like healing energy lately, like lots of healing, like physical healing, emotional healing. I did my video that I posted yesterday on self-forgiveness. So I don't know if it was like the whole like, eclipse, new moon, and Cancer, like it's just bringing out all the feels and all the we need to work on some stuff. I don't know, but it's been, pretty crazy. There's been a lot going on in terms of like, trying to help, heal others. There's a friend of mine whose father just had heart surgery. So she was asking if I could, send him some healing, because although he was in recovery, he was still pretty weak and everything. And there was like a little bit of a setback during his heart surgery, which you don't want to hear during somebody's heart surgery. So obviously she was pretty freaked out because it's her dad. And so I did a whole healing for him, and pretty much after the healing I felt like he was going to be fine, and he is. He's doing so much better. It's just that everything tastes really bitter right now, but I have heard that after heart surgery, like weird things happen. Like some people become extremely depressed after open heart surgery. Some people, have weird taste and kind of hello. So, that's not uncommon. And actually, that happens because know that he is well on the way to recovery. I did try to do another healing for um, my dude and his best friend. They have like a mutual friend that they went to high school with, and that guy's wife has stage 4 breast cancer, and it has metastasized. And basically, they've given her not a very good healing her way, and that was a little bit more difficult. And I think that one's gonna be probably. Then yesterday, my dude's dad told us that the family cat is not doing so well. He has some blockages in his stomach that's preventing him from eating. So he's dropped 4 pounds in a week. And so yeah, we were pretty upset yesterday. And so I just felt like, you know what? Let's do a live chat on healing, because I know everybody could use some sort of healing, whether there are animals in our life that we wish to send healing. Maybe it's yourself personally. There is some sort of physical ailment that you have that you would like to send healing energy to. Maybe it's that we want to send some healing to, or it's another person, whatever it may be. Found out that my dad is having heart problems. I'm so sorry to hear that. So yeah, so it just like the past few weeks, it was like, wow, it seemed like so many people were in need of healing, or they knew somebody that was like needing healing. Somebody was having this and having this. And so I was like, okay, you know what? Today's live chat, I still want to have fun with you guys. Yes, of course, but I wanted to bring you guys in as a community where we can like work together and create something together so that we can use it for healing wherever it may be, whether it's your father or a friend or a family cat, whatever it may be. Let's try to work together today, create a crystal grid specifically centered for healing, and any type of healing, again, emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, whatever it may be. We'll create that together. I'll make sure that when it's complete, you guys, I'll point the camera down. We can like meditate on it for a little bit, either sending it to ourselves and elsewhere, or both. And then, like I said, you guys can take a screenshot of it, try to recreate it at home, whatever you guys want to do with the crystal grid that you guys create today. And then afterwards, yeah, I thought it might be fun, maybe create a poem. Because I was an English education major and I had like an emphasis in creative writing. And so I like me some poetry, okay? And I really wanted to do like a pantoum today, which is like a repeating line poem, which I think would be fun if everybody on here like created a line. That might be fun. So we will do that today. And I have a little Wally Walito who has joined me. So he has come to help us with our live chat. Okay. Wally, are you ready? Paperback says, I can't wait. All right. So let's start off with the crystal grid. I'm going to have a drink of tea. And I already chose what I want for the center of the grid, which is one of my pieces of amethyst that comes from South America, which is why it's got the really, really deep purple to it. And of course, I kind of keep this out of sunlight so that it will keep its deep purple color. So that'll be our center, because I really wanted something that just felt extra powerful and could lend a little bit of extra energy to whatever it is that you guys want to create. So again, this grid is specifically for healing purposes. So whether you yourself would like some form of healing in whatever form it may be, or you want to send it to somebody else, or or even an animal, you know, we'll do that. Okay, so let me, I was gonna take that sip of tea. That is a good tea. Okay, so I'm gonna move my crystals just a little bit so I have better access to them. Okay, so when it comes to healing, what are some crystals that you would like to see used for this grid? So you personally, what crystals are coming to mind for you that you want? And if I have them, yes, they will go in the grid, but I can't, obviously. You know, so hopefully I have all the crystals that you guys are requesting. So take some time right now to have a little think about what crystals you would like to be in this personal grid for healing. As you know, for me, I wanted the amethyst, so. Hey, Wally. So I'm just moving around. Rhodonite. I do have rhodonite. Let me look through and find my rhodonite. Sorry, I have quite a few little bins to look through in here. Aha! We got it. All right, rhodonite. I don't have that many pieces, but that's okay. All right, so we have 2 pieces of rhodonite, and hello. We are just kind of creating a crystal grid together, one based on healing. And so everybody's just kind of giving me information on like what crystals you would like to see in there. I have a lot of crystals, so hopefully I have any that you request for a personal grid of healing. So this will be like your guys' healing grid. Okay, so I'm gonna place these right now. Okay, any other crystals? Okay, so we have our centerpiece of amethyst. We have 2 pieces of rhodonite. And it's okay. It doesn't have like have to have a bazillion crystals in it. Huh, Wally? Huh. So again, just have a think. There we go. Okay, so any other crystal thoughts? I can think aquamarine, aventurine, maybe you can think some blue crystals or green crystals, pink crystals. If you want to incorporate, well, I'll probably incorporate quartz at the end just for extra amplification, if I can talk this morning. Sorry, I do have to have a little bit of a snack. Kind of keep my metabolism is a little fast, so I get a little. Okay, any more ideas? And Sherry Bug's here. Hey, hey! So Sherry Bug, we are just creating a healing crystal grid at first. So far we have a amethyst center stone. We have some rhodonite. And if you have any other ideas for stones for healing, again, I was already saying that this could be physical healing, emotional healing, mental healing, healing for yourself, other people. We're going to do a little, I think you were here for our last community crystal grid that we created, but I think that was like almost like a year ago. So Amazonite. Sounds good. Okay. Actually, am I already on my Amazonite? I am. I already have the bin that has Amazonite in it. Okay. All right. So we're going to be using some of my pieces of Amazonite here. do I want to put this? I'm going to do this and this. Okay. And rose quartz. Okay. Rose quartz. And again, I'm going to show you guys the grid once I finished putting it all together. So it's not like you guys are going to be kept in the dark. I know I have some rose quartz. Let me... Ooh, I have a ton of rose quartz. Yes! I forgot that I had these little... I have these like little rose quartz hearts. I have a little like rose quartz egg here. I have some like window pane rose quartz, which is kind of cool. I have one of the like worry stones. Just some regular tumbled pieces. I have a nice raw piece, which is kind of cool. Okay. Yes, I do agree. It is very gentle. Okay. Which is good. You know, sometimes we want some good strong energy, which we can get with the Amazonite, and especially the rhodonite. The rhodonite, to me, feels like it has a gentle energy, but there's a force behind it. The Amazonite is quartz that I have, but let's see which ones I feel called to use. Okay, I feel like pulling those ones out. Okay, I feel like, let's see. 2, 4, 6. I'm going to be using 8 pieces of rose quartz for this. I just really want to keep the energy gentle. And paperback said tourmaline. I do have tourmaline. Yes, I do. Okay. So I'm going to put this here, this here. Okay, yeah, that feels pretty good, actually. I'm gonna move that there. Okay, and then tourmaline. I do have some tourmaline. And then add a little bit of just regular clear quartz, because like I said, I want to amplify the energy. Okay, so I have a jumbo piece of tourmaline, and then I have one piece of polished tourmaline. So I'm gonna place that one right there, actually. Very nice. I'm liking the energy that you guys are creating. Okay, so let me get back to my... Okay, I think we could put, maybe just so it's not overwhelmed with all the different types of like good attributes, you know, that the stones have in themselves. I think maybe it can add maybe one more type of stone, and then after that I want to add the quartz. So is there one more type of stone that you guys would like to add, or are you guys pretty much that's what you wanted? Because it's up to you guys. It's totally, it's your guys' grid. The tea that I have in here, this one, what was it called? It was from the Witch's Moon box. Hey, Celtic Witch! We are all doing very well. Actually, you popped in right at the right time. We're creating a community crystal grid today. So something fiery like pyrite would be my thought. Okay, so something fiery. So Celtic Witch, we are creating a healing grid today. So you guys are creating this healing grid, whether you know you want something for yourself or for somebody else. When I'm finished placing all the pieces, I'm going to show you guys the grid. We'll do just a little bit of a meditation on it. You guys can take a screenshot if you want, you know, save it, put it on your desktop, save it to your phone, you know, so it could be like your wallpaper today, so you can maybe meditate on the energy, but you guys are creating the energy of it with the help of our stone friends, our crystal friends. So Sherry Bug said maybe some pyrite. I know I have some pyrite. Aha. um, let's see. And Twist of the Leaf. Hello, hello. Curiosity is welcome here. Today, I mean, for my live chats, you never know what we're gonna do on a Saturday. You know, I'm usually there's some sort of, you know, something metaphysical in it, whether we're doing cards or things like that. But today is all centered around healing. So as a group today, everybody's been giving me suggestions on crystals they would like to see in a personal healing grid. So this is your guys' personal grid. So I am looking for my pyrite, which I found, and it's sitting with my chalcopyrite. Let's see. So I don't want to overwhelm it with too much fire. You know, I do like the gentleness of it, but I want it to feel gentleness where we're open to the energy and we allow the energy in. But once the energy is in there, with these other stones that do have power to them, I feel like then they can get to work right away. I don't know, you guys like my explanation there. I like the threes. I kind of like the threes for this. Twist of the Leaf says you might balance the fire with labradorite. Ooh, that is a good idea. Do I want to do 3 on this one? Maybe. Yes, I do. I want to do 3. 1, 2, 3. And I think find my labradorite. Sorry, I like to keep my little crystal babies and like little things like this. They're all separated by crystals, and some that share attributes, I just kind of like keep them together. But they all have their little slips of paper that say what they are, because sometimes some crystals, they, at first glance, kind of look like another crystal, and I feel bad if I call one crystal by another crystal name. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's me. I just feel like they need to be called by the correct name. Okay. Ooh, there's my labradorite. Okay, I got a lot of big pieces. Let's find some of my smaller pieces. Ooh, you know what I like this balance of? We're going to use okay, so Twisted Leaf said it's your comfort stone. Well, actually, let me show you some of my labradorite pieces. I'm going to use 2 of them, though. It's so organized, not sure I could be that organized. For balance, what I like is I'm going to use a polished piece of labradorite, and I'm going to use an unpolished piece of labradorite. Ooh, that's catching up on camera really nice. So I like this balance, and I think that's really going to balance the grid. So how do I want to? Nope, I want to do this. Ooh, I think it's perfect. I don't think we need to add any more stones. And actually, you know, I said I wanted to, hey Jenny, I was saying that I wanted to add some quartz for amplification. I think that this is pretty amplified as I look at it. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this around so you guys can actually see it. And well, I'm just gonna call you Leaf. Here's just, since it's Twist of the Leaf said, beautiful. I really like the unpolished one. The refractions were beautiful. Yes. Let's see. I also have this one where it's kind of like, almost like, I guess, like a window labradorite, which is pretty cool. And I have one of these Mondo ones. So there you go. All right. Okay, I am going to move this camera around so you guys can see what you have created today. And we'll kind of get into that crystal energy together. We'll just spend a few minutes just kind of soaking in the energy, either for ourselves or for somebody else. Okay, so let's do that. Let me just move things out of the way so that there's room for me to move my camera and all of that. Some of these stones are so heavy. Let me see. Sherry Bug said, I just got 2 pieces in the mail yesterday. Ooh. Most of my crystals, I have to touch and feel myself. But if I'm going to get crystals online, I do have a shop for me personally that I really trust, healingcrystals.com. Um, they also have stuff, that they do on YouTube as well, but I just really like their energy. They always have like a little like personal note in there. So yeah, if you guys want to crystals, they're very selective about where they go. So you guys might have your own like little places that you guys like to go. Okay, how am I gonna, Wally? Okay, I can't move because there is a puma on my lap, so I'm gonna have to move the camera. Ooh. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm gonna move the grid up and over. Please don't drop the stones. Sorry, I'm moving it. Thank you for that. I was wondering where I could buy online. Yeah, so for me, it's healingcrystals.com. But if you guys go anywhere else, definitely type it in there. I'm so far away from shops with crystals. I do shops. I do shop at the shops, but also chance shopping online. So if you have some places that you really like, please post it. So that we can see. Okay, I'm gonna flip this around. Okay. Okay. See, can I zoom in? Ooh, I can. Woo! Hold on, let me try to drop the camera a little bit more. Sorry for all the clanking, you guys. Okay. So, in the middle, we have my really large piece of super dark amethyst, which comes from South America. We have 2 pieces of rhodonite here. We have 3 pieces of pyrite for a little bit of fire energy. We have 3 pieces of amazonite for some of that heart chakra, but I also feel it's a very powerful stone when it comes to healing. And then for balance, we have a rough piece of labradorite and we have a polished piece of labradorite. And then kind of sprinkled throughout, I have 8 pieces. Again, for infinity. And to me, the number 8 is a very healing number. So we have 3s and 8s kind of spread throughout this really feeling for this grid. So the rose quartz is really helping with the kind of a gentleness of this, and then the rhodonite, which we have here and in here, that has, it's gentle, but it's got a lot of oomph behind it, like a lot of force. And then down here, just to kind of keep it grounded, we have our black tourmaline. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and connect the energy of this. If you guys now, I'm going to be quiet for a little bit, so you guys can try and soak in the energy. So just, breathe in, breathe out. Imagine it going to where you want it to go, either within your own body, maybe to a memory, or to somebody, or, in particular, maybe a fur baby, whatever it may be. Okay. connect with the grid. So let me, whoop. Yay, we're back. Okay, so let me just push this back a little bit so I can move the camera. So if you guys want to rewind, go back, like I said, you could take a screenshot of it, make it your wallpaper today for your phone, for your laptop, you know, or just so you can look at it later during a meditation, you know, it's totally fine. But yeah, you guys created a really awesome grid today. I really like the energy of that. So I don't know, what were you guys feeling? Like, where did you feel it in your bodies? If you were sending it to yourselves, like where were you guys feeling? Was it mostly in the heart? Were you guys mostly feeling it in some of the lower chakras? Jenny said, you know, when you put a big seashell on your ear and you hear it and you hear and your ear, and that's what I hear and feel, one-on-one with the ocean. Oh, you know what's interesting, Jenny? Yesterday I was really feeling like the ocean vibes. Like there was just something was like, you need to take like a mermaid bath, which is what I did. And I felt so good afterwards. I just feel that watery energy, and that's interesting. You know, it's probably with the Amazonite maybe coming through. Sherry Bug said, great job, witchy folks. Kainat felt it in the stomach. Twist of the leaf, I was sending it to my mother, but I think I absorbed a bit as well, as it grounded me a bit in the chest and solar plexus. Okay, good. Sherry Bug, I tried to send it to my arms. And Celtic Witch, I was focusing it in my heart and crown chakras. Okay, so and I do think it has a good, I mean, although there's not like a bazillion stones going on, you were going to do a sea salt bath today? Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. If you guys can, you know, you have any time today, you know, I would probably suggest maybe, you know, doing a little sea salt bath, you know, Epsom salt bath, even if you don't have a bath, maybe take a shower and just put a few like seashells maybe that you've collected or anything that feels kind of watery and beachy, I think, to kind of continue the vibe that's coming off of this. So yeah, I do feel like there's a watery vibe, but it's got strength to actually, oh my gosh, you guys just reminded me of my dream talking about watery and healing and impact. And I like, you know, that, you know, like I said, there aren't a lot of crystals there. Like it doesn't have like 10 different types of crystals. But the crystals are there seem to be good for, you know, all different, you know, chakras in the body, you know, or whatever type of healing you guys were sending it to. I think that that's really good with that. So, hey, you guys all get an A plus 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 plus. Okay, but let me take a sip, and then it's not a super long dream, probably because I can't remember the rest of it, but there is a part that I probably do need to share with you guys. I'm actually soaking in a lavender Dead Sea salt bath right now. Oh my God, Sherry Bug. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram yesterday, but I posted a picture of my bath. I got one of those bath bombs from Walmart. It was called like Mermaid Dreams or something like that. So it turned the bath water kind of blue. I put a ton of Epsom salt and sea salt in there. I had a bunch of like dried roses that I put in there from my garden because I love my roses. What else did I put in there? Oh yeah, and I got like a giant, it's like a giant reusable tea bag thing, but it's bigger for like a bathtub. And inside I put lavender, linden flower, and stinging nettle. Yeah, I had those 3 herbs, and I just felt that they were very like cleansing, you know. So it's interesting that you were talking about lavender, and then Jenny's talking about sea salt, and I'm like, literally that was like my bath yesterday. You know. And I put you know, all kinds of crystals around. I had I brought in my amethyst cactus quartz. I brought in tons of seashells, just a lot of quartz and rose quartz and things like that. Sharebug said, I have a product for mine. It's salt from the Dead Sea. Expensive, but worth it. Yes. Oh my goodness. So yes, you guys take care of yourselves. I know, you know, some people have, you know, really, you know, there's a lot of business going on with families, with kids, with, you know, there's always a lot going on, but if you could just take like a little bit of time out, maybe delegate some stuff to other people in the family. Hey, could you take care of this while I need just like 20 minutes, please. I think it would be so worth it no matter what's going on, especially if there's a lot going on, just time to woo. Okay, so quickly, the dream last night. I don't remember all of the dream. I just remember the part just before I woke up, which is probably, just how it works. Twist the Leaf said, I will be doing mine later today, but it's sea salt, apple cider vinegar, and waterproof tarot cards. Yes. The best. I do, like, if I don't get to do baths a lot. I don't remember when's the last time I had a bath before yesterday. Okay, that sounded wrong. I shower, people. I don't remember when's the last time I took a healing bath, before yesterday. But if I bring my cards, which I usually do, I always try to find the most laminated of my tarot cards, so that if I get water on them, it's like not gonna destroy them. Sherry Bug, OMG, yes, waterproof tarot in a bath. Perfect. Okay, so yesterday's dream, I dream I'm in a coffee shop, but the ocean is inside the coffee shop. I know that doesn't make any sense. It's a dream, okay? So, I'm standing at the back at this table with like all these other people that I work with, like at this coffee shop. And there's this guy who's surfing these ginormous waves, and there's big waves, and there's like huge sets of waves coming in. And I used to surf back in the day. I don't really so much anymore, but this guy is surfing out to sea. So instead of catching the waves and riding them in, which would be towards us, it's like he's catching the waves, but he's surfing out to sea. So it's like interesting. And everybody said, oh, that guy's crazy. He's like a thrill seeker. So I'm like, okay, in my dream. And then he makes it back to us. And I look outside, and it started to rain outside in my dream. And he says, okay, the big set is coming. He says, let it come to you. And I'm like, what? Aren't we gonna drown? Like if we catch like a 50-foot wave on the face, I'm pretty sure we're dead. Because that's like how big these waves were in my dream. This is like, there was like a 50-foot wave set like coming in, and so we're all, I don't know, sitting on a table, because again, we're inside this coffee shop and the ocean's in the coffee shop. Like, it makes no sense. It's totally far-fetched. And the set starts coming in like foamy and everything. And it's like the sky inside the coffee shop is getting darker. And the guy kept saying, trust me, trust me. He's like this total surfer dude, like dreads and everything. And he's like, just trust me. He goes, let it just hit you in the face. And I was like, and as it got closer, all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to trust him. I was like, we could actually die. So I grabbed all the people that were there, and we got outside the doors of the coffee shop, because I don't know, the ocean is like contained within this coffee shop, and we watched like this wave come and just like demolish the table that we were on. And I was like, see, you guys, aren't you glad, that I got you guys out of harm's way? Like, that would have been us. We totally would have been demolished, and everybody was like, yeah. And they're like telling him, they're like, hey man, like, you could have killed us. And he was like, ah. He says, well, I didn't know it was gonna do that, but I thought it would be fun anyway. And so then, I don't know, and the rest of the dream, we're like walking around in the rain. Yeah, but that's the only part of my dream I remember, and that probably makes no sense. So I don't know if you guys want to psychology that, because I know that water, ocean, that deals with like emotions, intuition, but I'm just like, I'm a little lost on that one. I'm like, okay, so the guy's doing reverse surfing. And usually when there's big waves in my dream, I'm not scared of them, I actually run towards them, and, and I have fun. I ended up, in my dreams, the sky will usually become dark when the big waves come, but I run towards those waves in my dream usually, and then the sun will come out and the waves become fun, and then the waves go flat. But in this one, I didn't have that feeling of like, I want to run towards the waves. It was like, no, 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 I think we could actually get hurt. So you are the guy also. The coffee house is your traditional job. The waves, I believe, is your metaphysical and spiritual jobs. I think you are dueling within yourself regarding moving. Oh, dude, Sherry Bug, you got the psychology going on. That is good. I hadn't thought of that, and it's true. That is true. So, like, FYI, for those of you guys that don't know me that well, like my traditional job, is not. I don't work at a coffee shop. I'm an English teacher at a high school. I'm a track coach and all that stuff. But yeah, a big part of my life is what I do here. I do healing. I do well. Actually, the core of my business, what I do is healing. Whether I am doing mediumship or I'm reading, tarot cards, or I'm doing crystal ball scrying, conchomancy, whatever I'm doing, it's all centered around healing. And that's what I love to do the best. And actually, my favorite part of teaching is not the stupid curriculum that we have to teach. Like, that's actually like my least favorite. It's when the kids are working and I get to work with certain students one-on-one, or they come in at lunchtime, or they come in at nutrition break, and the kids that just come in and they want to talk, and I try to help them through issues that they have. And not like a high school counselor, because I don't really think they get to do like what you might think, like, oh, I get to counsel students. It's not really like that. But that's my favorite part, is healing. Whether I'm healing trying to help heal a teenager, or I'm trying to do what I do here, like that part of me is like seeping into teaching, where I used to try to keep them separate. Like, there was teacher me, where I do my hair completely different. I wear a suit every day. I wear heels. I wear, I have like my serious lipstick on. I'm like, like serious business, and then when I'm here, I feel like I get to be myself. And like myself is seeping into, my teaching, and it's so hard to try and separate and be somebody, that I think I'm not really. Let's see, out into spiritual based career and the coffee house, you fearing leaving teaching. So dream interpretations is my jam. Well, Sherry Bug, you are good at it. Jenny said, stepping out of the box into the open. Okay, what is my serious lipstick? It's a really, really deep purple. I love purple lipstick, but I don't know, I just I don't know why for teaching I just wear this like deep purple, like almost like, yeah, it's just a really, really deep purple lipstick. Or I just wear like brown lipstick, all on 90s, because the 90s. I can't get rid of it. But my hair is usually slicked back into a bun. I don't wear any rings. I don't wear any bracelets. All I have is my watch. Sometimes I wear a man's watch, my dude's watch, because I really like it. And I always have my pearls. I have my pearl earrings that I got when I was in China, and they actually have like really special meaning to me. And I wear my pearl necklace, which was given to me by my dude's mom as a birthday gift one year. So I always have my pearls. I always have my hair in a bun, and I always have a suit on and high heels, or I have like a really like prim and proper dress on, like and not that I don't like those clothes. I like dressing up. It's just like I don't know, I just feel like um, let me see. Please, that is so witchy. Oh my gosh. So I guess, maybe as much as I like to think that I like keep myself separated, I think there is me, even when I'm at school. Yeah, I have the whole ritual. Pearls are so magical. Yes, and they're my birthstone too. I'm June, so I have pearls, and yeah, and I and plus, if I dress what I feel is like more masculine. I feel like I have a greater control of my classroom. However, this year, I don't know, this year and a little bit last year, but mostly like this year, I started just like I dressed a little bit more relaxed. Maybe I had my hair in a ponytail instead of a bun. My lipstick became a little pinker, and I still kept my jewelry to my pearls and everything like that, but like stuff I started putting up in my classroom, like I started putting up unicorns and make today magical and make today awesome and you are magic. Like I started like putting that stuff up in my classroom. I started adding more crystals, that my students, by the way, are drawn to my crystals. Like I always keep three crystals in the classroom that I think is really good for teenagers. I have selenite, I have black tourmaline, and I have rose quartz, because I think that those are the three, especially teenagers, all the drama and all the stuff that they go through and all the stress that they have. I just feel with my giant piece of, because it's a giant piece of rose quartz, that they really need that love. Black tourmaline, so that they understand their boundaries, because they're like, they're like all over the place. And selenite, just to keep things pretty clear, in my classroom. And they are always fiddling with those stones. And one of the boys one time was like clinking my stones together. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I want to see which one is stronger. And I'm like, well, are you going to try to break my stones in the process? And he's like, no. He's all, I really like the black tourmaline though. He goes, I think this one's the strongest. Can I have it? And I'm like, you cannot have my stones. I was like, if you go to Old Town, I'm sure they'll have black tourmaline there. He's like, black tourmaline. Okay, cool. Black tourmaline. I'm gonna save up. I'm gonna get some black tourmaline. I'm like, it's not that expensive. Just get a little tumbled piece. He's like, okay, cool. And I have one of the other kids like, I like this shiny one. Attracted to the stones, not so much the girls, which is interesting. Sherry Bug said, I think that is good. They sometimes just need stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, and it felt like the more me I started to be, the less strict I had to be in my classroom. Like the more comfortable it seemed like they were. And they, the kids have always been kind of comfortable in my classroom, but it seemed like they felt more like they could share their issues out in the open, like to the whole class. They felt like, I don't know, sometimes it was like therapy sessions in my classroom where someone would say, I got this going on at home, and they would share it to the whole class, like everybody could hear. And I would tell them over and over, I said, do you know how awesome that is, that we have this environment that you guys can share things that are bothering you, and that everybody in here is going to be, okay, accepting of that, and was like not gonna make fun of you. So I was like, I really appreciate like all of your maturity, and stuff like that. So it seemed like there was more of that this year. And since there was more of that, it was more like, to me, like, oh my gosh, like that's just what I want to do. I just want to help people in that way, and then as of late, like I said at the beginning of this live chat, like friends, like even like mild acquaintances have been texting me like, I know you do healings. Can you please do a healing for my father? Can you please do a healing for my friend's wife? Can you please do a healing for this animal? Can you please do a healing for my friend? And everybody's coming to me, can you please do this? And I've been more than happy to do that. And actually by doing that, I had a breakthrough in how I heal. And so I've been doing a little bit this different kind of thing. You guys know that oh, it's up on my altar right now. But how, I created my own candles for the first time. My rose petal candles. And I only use that candle for the healings that I've been doing. I ended up giving my other candle to my friend, who I know that her and her daughters need that candle. And I was like, and if I can make more candles, so that's fine. I gave her the other one, and I have one of them, so I've been using it for the healing. And all of a sudden it's like, I would sit down, and I've created this like space, like I'm doing healing right now, which usually I'll just create a space wherever I want, and that's where I'll do my healing. It's like, I'm gonna be where I'm at. But no, it's like all of a sudden it's like I'm being yelled at in the ear. You are making space in front of your altar. You're going to incorporate your FERPA, which for whatever reason doesn't like to be on camera. So I have my FERPA. I have a particular necklace that I wear that's also in here. I have the feather, a hawk feather that came to me actually at the conclusion of school when my seniors graduated this year, which was like, for me, like a big, like, and it's a red-tailed hawk feather, which is like, I've been wanting one of those feathers for so long. And we have so many red-tailed hawks. And it's like, why can't I have a feather? And then one came to me. So anyway, I have that out. I have Sophos, which I only use for healing, my crystal skull, made out of pink hemimorphite, which is my favorite stone, hemimorphite. Um, and then I was sitting in meditation trying to connect with the first person who I was trying to heal's energy, but then one of my guides came through, and I was sitting there and I was like, I know I can send good vibes to people. And I was like, what is the key to creating like something that feels even more magical, where like they really feel something, and then there's something that's actually like changing like on a cellular level, like I'm really helping them. And then my guide's like, that's it. What is the key? And I was like, that's what I'm asking you. What is the key? And that's what the guide's like, it's like, I'm telling you, you tell me what is the key. And I was like, are you telling me that every ailment is in the body? I was like, oh my gosh, is it like a code? And so they were like, yes. Every time you've been trying to heal, you've been trying to use your key that doesn't fit in their lock. Everything on the body, they said, that is wrong. Like, let's say you have something going on with your hand. Oh, but you also have something that's going on with your ear. They said those are two different codes. And so they said, you have to find out what key will open what's wrong with the hand, what's wrong with the ear. You can't use the same key. It's not like you can have a skeleton key that like just fixes everything. They said you have to find out, what does the code look like here and fix it? What does the code look like here and fix it? So you have to create the key. And Jenny said, yes, because sometimes I feel like a block, like I need to open up more. Yeah, and it was like, and I kept saying, I'm like, this is frustrating because I have like all these people that want me to heal them. And why would you be sending me all these people if I can't, like I said, like I want to heal them. And all of a sudden it was like, find what the code is, and then you bring the key to unlock it. Cindy says, do you have a Facebook page? I do. It's Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. So yeah, Kittens, Weights, and Tarot is my Facebook page. My Instagram is at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. So it's pretty much just Kittens, Weights, and Tarot across the board. Same for my website, www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. So Jenny said, wow, writing that down. Yeah, and I felt like today, since today was centered around healing, you guys creating the crystal grid, I still do want to write a poem with you guys at the end. But yeah, it was like, I need to share this with you guys, everything I learn, I want you guys to like hear it too, because we share. So yeah, it was like, find the key. And so then, I just felt like something else was like helping to guide me. Like, I need to bring this out and I need to bring this out. And now I'm ready to do some healing. It's like, I have, this, and this, and that's what I do for healing. And I was like, wow, I was really feeling like some intense energy. Not that I don't feel intense energy, but this was like a different kind of intense, like you are being guided. Like, you wanted some direction, here's some direction, girl, but you got to listen. I was like, okay. So the first healing I did was for my friend's father who had open heart surgery. And she told me, she was like, I'm coming to you because I believe in you, and I know that you can help people. And she says, and so he's in the hospital, he's in the ICU still, because the surgery was supposed to take between 4 to 5 hours. It ended up taking 3 extra hours because they couldn't control his bleeding. He needed a blood transfusion. She says, my mother went in to go see him in the ICU. He did wake up, but he's still very pale and very weak. And she says, and I really, really want him to be better. She says, and I need you to heal him. And I was like, she goes, of course the doctors are trying too. And I was like, I got you. Jenny said, here lately I've been healing with seashells. Yes, and seashells. Oh my gosh, yes. Jenny, you are like, yes, there's a lot of that energy too. And I feel like seashells are cleansing for my energy in between healings. I feel like I really need to get back to like oceanic stuff. So I sat down to do a healing for her father. I called in his energy, and I do what I do best. I'm really good at body scanning. I scan his body. I look for, all the areas. And then I start asking please show me what the code looks like. What does it look like right now? And I could see these weird symbols. You know how, was it, sometimes people make like, kind of like runes and stuff like that. And there's all these weird, it looked like a jumble of symbols, like all around his heart. There was like a jumble of symbols, like in each area where I could see color, where I see, things that are wrong in people's bodies. But now I could see the symbols. It's a lot of symbols that are associated with that color. And it was like, okay, this is the messed up code here. Here's the messed up code. Here's the messed up code. And it was like, now rearrange the code to unlock it for healing, because otherwise it just won't be open. Like it won't, I could send good vibes, make people feel good, but I can't do like, some mega healings. I was like, and it was like a breakthrough, like, oh my God, why didn't I like think of this before? And Sherry Book says, yes, I've always thought seashells have traits like crystals. Yes, for sure. And so that's what I did. It took me a little while. I was in meditation for a little while, but I would, I worked on like, there was a little code here, and then I like redid the code, and then I felt like the energy just opened, and then I could send my energy in like I usually do. And Nagara said, for me, intention is key when I send healing. The energy from a loving heart and words and presence is always enough. DNA healing is what you are doing at cellular level. Yeah. So it's like, because I can give that like comforting healing, and I always, I'm always, trying to send, good stuff. But this is the first time where I felt the healing was a little bit different when I was trying to actually like get down into the physical body, not just the spiritual body. And so it was like those parts that I see in color in his body were opened up, ready for my actual healing energy. When I looked down at my hands, that meditation, I don't know if I shared it with you guys. I had this weird meditation where I was like this Mayan dude, and I had these tattoos on my hands. It was like on my right hand, it was like a triangle with a line in the middle, and I had a snake. And then on my other hand, it was kind of like the Mercedes-Benz symbol. It was more like, it was just like three, like lines, and then there was a dagger. And when I was in the healing, one forearm was glowing over the other. And so the forearm that was glowing had the dagger in it, which to me represented this person can be healed at this time. To me, all of a sudden, it became clear that the serpent was, this person is, is not going to accept the healing, or this person is ready to transition, like the death card, but not necessarily a physical death. Could be like a different time of transition, or an actual like transition into death. So that's what I saw with the snake, and it was like, oh my God, that's what those symbols mean. And when I was holding my FERPA in my hand, I realized I was holding it in the hand that has the dagger, and a FERPA is a dagger, by the way, and it has at the point a crystal that's in, it has three sides, and that's the three that was on my hand. I was like, oh my God, like everything was coming together. And so I used my healing candle, where I was feeling the energy of the candle, and I was feeling like his energy was in that candle. And I opened my eyes from the meditation, and I looked at the flame, and whatever the flame was doing, and if it was catching fire with like the rose petals that I have in there, and how it caught fire, it's just, I saw, I don't know, it was like I just knew that once the flame had extinguished itself, that he was going to be just fine. Like that's the first time in like my heart of hearts, I knew that he was going to be fine. So I sent a message to my friend yesterday, and I was like, I'm just checking in to see how your dad's doing. She was like, oh, he is much better. Like he's fine now. It's just, he has like, everything tastes bitter to him, so as soon as we can fix his taste buds, she says, I think it'll be okay. But yeah, she says, no, he's totally normal now. He's fine. I was like, so yeah. And then, when I, hold on, and make sure I didn't pass anybody's. Oh, Cindy wrote, it says, when I heal people, I usually use energy from the earth or the universe. I am an energy worker, and I usually have fairly good results. Yeah, I think everybody just like has their own way for healing, and this is just like a way that has really like opened up for me, because I've really like, I do, energy healing, but this is just like a just something that has opened up for me, and like what seems to be working for me. And I'm like, whoa, I'm like so excited. I just feel like sharing it with you guys. Sigils, that Jenny, that's what I was trying to figure out, like sigils. Um, and so then when I tried to do a healing for my dude's friend's wife, with her cancer, um, when I initially saw her, I would see her physical body, and I would see part of her spirit being pulled this way and part being pulled this way. It's like her spirit was being torn in half. And just like looking in her body, it was just so much. There was a lot going on in there. It sounds to me like a version of shaman or shamanic. Yeah, yeah, actually. So I'm like, it was like every time I looked, there would be a new color and a new color, and it was like I was chasing the colors around her body. And so the energy was a lot different. Like I was trying to help her, and at some point, um, the snake was glowing, but so was the dagger. It was like, like a 50-50. And so I looked at the flame, with my healing candle, and just like all the rose petals in there, it was like the fire was just spreading throughout the whole candle, and I couldn't stop the spreading of the fire. I mean, eventually I had to blow out the candle, but I was just like, so there was like one of my guides. It's usually a guide. His name is Tom, and he's the one that I call on for like medical healing. Like he's always dressed in his scrubs, like ready for surgery. Um, and he's just like, he says this one, it's up to her, the forces, it's really strong, so she can um allow herself to go, or if she wishes to stay, she's gonna really have to fight to stay. um so it's 50-50, and in this instance you do not have control whether or not she is healed. She has the control only, and this is not like a human like having the control. This is what her spirit wants to do. Whether she's all finished here, or she wants to do some, you know wants to stay. And I was like, oh. And so then it was like, them saying, now this is the learning. You can't help everybody. This is where you're going to have to start looking at your forearms. Does this person want to be healed at this time? Can they be healed at this time by you? Maybe it's not you that needs to be the one to heal them. Maybe it needs to be themselves, and it's like, you're going to have to learn, for all the people that you help, there are people that are going to have to leave in this lifetime, and that's okay, because that's the balance. That's, just how it needs to be. Not everybody can stay, forever, the spirit of course lives on forever, but they're like, the body has to go at some time. Hold on, let me see. Twist the Leaf said, your voice gentled into this really sweet tone when you said Tom's name. Yeah, Tom is really, he's nice. Jenny said, I felt that in my heart. Yes, that's when it gets hard. Yes. So then last night I was, I had, let me see, Sherbig said, I would really love to know how to get to know my guides better. I guess I need to learn to meditate better. I don't think it's, I mean, of course, meditation is good, but I don't think it's meditate better. I think it's just, I think for the most part, maybe I'm talking about myself, like, because there was a time where I was like, ooh, who are my guides? And I'm like waiting for somebody to pop up in my head, or I'm waiting to like have a vision or something, like, oh my God, you're my guide. And it ended up being, first, what I felt was just like that little voice that you hear in your head sometimes, like a little bit of intuition, and you think it's yourself. And over time, after you trust that, what feels like your own intuition, it ends up feeling like that voice isn't you, like a part of you. It is a kind voice, but it feels like it has a personality all their own. And then that's when I started like kind of, okay, wait a minute. I think this isn't me talking. This is somebody else. And then that's when, I don't know, I just started really getting to know their energy. And that's kind of how I learned who my guides were. And I just became open to that kind of feeling. And that's how I kind of figured out my guides was just being open to my own intuition, and then figuring out later on that sometimes that intuition is a mixture of like all the people that are trying to help you, or the different energies and stuff like that. Um, Let me see. And so, yesterday we had gotten the news that my dude's family cat, it was technically his mother's cat, even though it was the family cat, George. George is 14, but that's not old for a Siamese, because they had their other cat for like 18 years, and Siamese can sometimes live pretty long, especially if they're house cats. But he has a blockage in his stomach, and it's been preventing him from eating, even though he wants to eat. He's still drinking a little bit, but my dude's dad like took him to the vet. They ran all the kinds of tests. They have him on like prednisone, which I don't like that steroid. They have him on like anti-nausea medication. They have him on all this stuff, hoping that they can just like get him to want to eat, that it'll like push the blockage down, because it's in his small intestine and it's messing with his pancreas. But he's dropped like 3 or 4 pounds in a week and a half. Like, that's a lot of like, dropping weight on a cat is bad. um, Unless the cat needs to lose weight. This cat does not need to lose weight. And he's down to 8 pounds. No, yeah, he's down to 8 pounds. And he's kind of a bigger cat, so he's pretty thin, it sounds like. And so right away I was like so sad, and my boyfriend's mother had popped up at the table. She's passed away, by the way. She's been gone for about 3 years now. And she passed away, and she looked at me and she's like, "Tara, I miss my George. I want my Georgie back." And I was like, "But why?" And she was like, "'Cause that's my cat." And she was like surrounded by all the pets that they used to have. There was a golden retriever there. There was like a white kitty, which they used to have, I guess, before my dude was even born. There was like his old cat Herb that had lived, till 18 and a half. Like, everything was there. And she was like, she goes, "I want to take care of my Georgie. Let Georgie come home." And I was like, and it was like I saw her and I knew her spirit was there and I knew what she was saying, but I was like, "Nope. When I get home, I'm doing a healing." So I went to do my healing, and everything was distracting me from doing the healing. It was like this was happening and this was happening, and I was like, So finally I got down into the healing, and I lit that candle, and just the way it was burning, it was like, no, George really doesn't have much longer. He probably has less than a week. And so I started crying, because obviously I really love George. We used to call him the weird bear. And so I decided to pull some cards, because that's kind of what I do after my healing. I asked to see what the person's energy looks like now, even though, I mean, I could look at it, but, I like to use my cards. So I used one of the Mystical Cat Tarot. I laid the cards down, and basically it was the Wheel of Fortune, which I had seen all day. Like, on Instagram, everybody had been pulling the Wheel of Fortune. It was the Wheel of Fortune card, it was the Tower card, and it was the Ace of Cups. And right away, to me, that meant that it's time for him to go and like go on to a new adventure. And then I said, how much longer? And I was asking for timing, and the Nine of Pentacles came up, and normally that would mean like 9 years. But the picture on the card looks like our old cat Presley, which used to be his best friend, our old cat Presley leading all these like Siamese kittens. And right away I was like, Nine of Pentacles, oh my God, it's 9 lives. My 9 lives are up. And I was like, and so, oh my gosh. So I decided to pull up this picture on my phone and like have a little bit of a talk with his spirit. And I was just like, I said, "We're going to see you on Saturday, after my dude finishes up work." I said, "Are you going to be there for us this weekend?" And it was like the Hanged Man, which is also the card of the day that I pulled. And it was like he was going to suspend himself. He was going to be there for us. But I said, "What does it look like by next weekend?" And that's when my 9 lives are up. It's like, so yeah, so it's like this lesson, in that, with this breakthrough that I've had, like, yes, I have finally figured out, something, it's a new way for me to heal. But I also am learning that sometimes, just because you can heal, doesn't mean everybody is going to accept that healing, or it's right for everyone at that time, or it's just like, seeing the limitations of what somebody can do, so yes, it was like, I knew, and so I told my dude, I was like, um I think the last time we're gonna see George is this weekend. And he's like, did my mom show up? I was like, she did. I was like, she had a bunch of animals. He was like, who was there? I was like, golden retriever. He says, okay, that's Heidi. And I was like, and Herb was there, and a white kitty. He says, that's Casper. And I was like, there's one that looked like a calico. And he's like, I don't know that one. Maybe she had that one as a kid. And I was like, and there's like, a couple other kitties. And he's like, all right. Well, he says, we'll see George on Saturday. I was like, okie dokie. So yeah, so yes, I've had this like mega breakthrough, but it's also been like kind of heartbreaking knowing that there's nothing I can do sometimes for, some people. And so Sherbek said, I'm sorry, it hurts so badly to lose a fur baby. It does, because on the 28th of June last month, that was like the 5-year anniversary of Presley passing away. And actually his birthday is in August. He would be 16 years old this year if he were still alive. But yeah, that was really hard. So that's like healing I need to I need, so I'm so glad you guys created that wonderful crystal grid, because I'm going to be using that for my own healing. I do have a lot of issues around death. I think that's why I'm so adamant about healing, is because I have, issues with death. I've lost quite a bit of, people and animals, and so I don't know, that's just something I have to work through, but it just makes me that more determined to want to get better at healing and what I do. But I guess in the process I also need to learn where I need to step back, and leave it as is. Your dude is awesome that he embraces your gifts. Yes, it's that's been interesting, because he used to just think I was like quirky, because okay, we were friends for like 6 years before we started dating, and we started dating in like 2006, but I've known him since like 2000. So yes, this year will be like 13 years. But he always just thought I was like kind of like weird, and he would just kind of like whatever when I'd talk about stuff. He's like, okay, like whatever, because he's like Mr. like logical, Mr. down to earth, Mr. scientific, Mr. I got to see it with my eyes and then analyze it some more, and then get my eyes checked, and then when we moved into this house, there was stuff that was occurring to him that usually would only happen to me. And then that's when he was just like, you know what, there might be more going on than I think I understand. So although he says that he doesn't like understand what I do and like what goes on, he says he does know now that there's a lot more going on. And since, things that I say end up being true, and things that I do, he has no explanation for, but he knows they work. He's like, now he's just like, whatever. That's just my weird girlfriend. I love her, and she can do stuff that I don't know what she does, but it seems to work. So whatever, So he's kind of at that kind of phase. I tend to feel my healing gift is more physically based, being a nurse and not an EMT, but I have learned that sometimes you just can't do anything but offer comfort and ease their passing. Oh, and now an EMT, not the crazy typing. So, I've noticed that too, Sherry Bug, because I've been there for the transition of quite a few people that I love. And when I was a kid, of course, it was like, don't leave me, don't leave me. Even in my 20s, don't leave me, don't leave me, and then I would just be absolutely torn. Not that I'm not absolutely like a mess when people pass away. But I remember it was no, not this past December, but the December before, when my dude lost his cousin, and I loved her so much, because she was a singer. She loved that I sang, and we all knew she was saying her last goodbyes to us by coming into town. And so her and I, the last time we hung out together, we sang "We Are Family" together. We were like, "We are family." you know? And then when she went into the hospital and everybody was like, this is it. So they kind of had her in hospice. And I was sad. I mean, of course, I was sad. I love Kathy. And so I was in the corner of the room and I was like crying. And all of a sudden, Brian's mother pops up, because she always pops up. And she's like, why are you crying? And I was like, because I love Kathy. She's like, and? I was like, well, that's kind of rude. I was like, I love Kathy. I mean, I don't want to see her go. I don't want to see her suffer. And she was like, why would you be sad when you know we're still here? You're obviously talking to me, so you know I'm not gone. And she was like, so I don't understand why you get so upset. But and that's just how Brian's mother is. She was a teacher for like 38 years. She's like Miss like no nonsense, like matter of fact. And she's like, why are you upset? And I was like, well, because I said, it's not like I can just call up Kathy, and it's not like we can just go hang out with her, and it's not like, and she was like, but you know that she's not dying. She's all, that you can talk to her at any time and you can see her at any time. So she says, I don't see the problem. She goes, when you of all people know that we're still here, why would you be upset? And I was like, because the human part of me wants the human part of them to stay. Like, I'm like, ugh. And she was like, well, she says, I think you need to pay attention to what's going on because she needs you. And I was like, okay. I happened to look over and she physically wasn't sitting up in her bed. She was in a coma, but her spirit was sitting out of her body and she was looking around and she was trying to get out. And I was like, Kathy, what are you doing? And she was like, ugh. She's like, can you believe this thing? She goes, God, how much does this thing weigh? And I was like, Kathy, you are not a big lady. And she was like, well, you'd think I was. And then I was like, I said, so when are you leaving us? And she's like, girl, she goes, it's gonna be at the top of the hour. She's all, we're gonna have a nighttime show, because she was in musicals. She used to do Broadway back in the day. She was like something, she was actually like a little kind of famous. But yeah, she was a Broadway star for a long time. So she was like, she says, we're gonna have a show. The show's coming up at the top of the hour, and so I'm telling my dude, I was like, I don't know what the top of the hour is, but she said it's gonna be an evening show. The evening comes and more and more people are coming to the foot of her bed in spirit to come visit her. And I was describing a man that was there with like red hair. He was kind of portly, had some like big old sideburns. And he said, my dude was like, oh, that's probably her father. He passed away when she was a teenager back in the 70s. That would probably explain but yeah, he was a tall guy with red hair and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, there's like a dog. He's like, oh, I don't know if she had a dog. I know she has a cat, but cat's still alive. Cat looks like Loki, actually. And so, it was like 7 o'clock. And so we're like, we're just going to go. And I was like, no, she's going to leave tonight. And he's like, no, he says, I think we'll just see her tomorrow. And so his dad was going to stay. And so we get into the parking lot. We put the car in reverse and his father calls. Kathy's on her way out. Oh my God. We put the car back into the spot. We ran back upstairs, took the elevator, and you could tell, she was going. And so it was my dude's dad, me, and my dude, and we're holding her hand, and I was just trying to pump so much of my energy into her. And I was like, come on, Kathy, you can do it. I was like, just use as much of my energy as you want. I love you so much. I was like, you use what you need to get out. And it was like, thump, like she came out at 8 p.m. It was at the top of the hour. It was an 8 o'clock show. Yeah, so her time of death, 8 o'clock. And it was like the hallway had lit up this is my mind's eye. Nobody else can see this. It was bright white in the hallway and I could see her dancing and kicking up her legs. And it's like she didn't even notice me, but she was so happy to be free and to be out. And she was like, ooh, she was like singing, she was dancing, she was twirling, and she just looked so happy. And it was like the light had just like swallowed her. And then it was back to being a hospital. And I was like, and I told my dude and he was like, that sounds like Kathy. So, I've only really felt her energy pop in maybe once since then, but I think she's off doing bigger, better things. I mean, she's always been a social butterfly and she's always been super busy. So it's like, it's not anything crazy that she's like, I don't see her all that often. Hold on. So I missed a bunch of your messages. Let me see. Cindy said, I have lost several furry friends over the last 10 years, both cats and dogs. It's still hard to let go. It is, Cindy. You know, for me, I don't know. It feels like it's even harder with animals. Not that losing people is like easy, but I don't know. To me, animals are even harder. Jenny said, I was there for my grandpa when he took his last breath. So it was such a beautiful moment, but at the same time, sad. Yeah. So my life has changed since then. Um, yeah, you know, to me, I feel honored, you know, if somebody will allow me to be there in their final moments. Because sometimes I think that, and this is just my opinion, you know, I'm not like, you know, like I know everything, right? You know, I'm just like on a journey, just like the rest of you guys. But I just feel like sometimes when you're not there, like as much as there are people that I've wanted to be there when they've passed away, I I don't think that they wanted me to see them like that. Like that's not the memory they want me to have, you know. And there are some people that are like, yes, you know, I think that, you know, I do need you to help me transition, and so they do allow me to be there. But sometimes, you know, things will get in the way on purpose, like, you know, it's like, you know. And I think that there are times I've been, and there's especially one person I'm thinking in particular, I wanted to be there for her, but I don't think that's how she wanted me to see her, you know, because I probably would have that burned in my brain for like ever, you know, if I saw her that way. But, you know, I still wanted to be there for her, and I just kind of feel like she didn't want me there in that way. Of course, now she visits every once in a while. But yeah, I just think maybe sometimes that's how it goes. It says, OMG, our fam comes and sees us when we pass. Intense. Yes, that was definitely interesting. There were so many people that came to see her. It was like, um, okay, so how I see it, and I've only seen this a few times because I haven't been like at the bedside of a lot of people who have passed away, but it was like at the foot of the bed, it was like bright white blinding light, and it was so bright that I can't even really make out all the faces of all the people who are standing there, but some of them are closer, so I can make them out, like her father. And I had no idea what her father looked like. So the fact that that's like validating for me, I'm like describing her dad and I didn't even know what he looked like. I didn't even know when he died. I was like, is he still alive? Like, it's like, no, the guy died back in the 70s in a car accident. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like describing, there's this person and this person. He's like, I think a lot of those are just her friends, you know, that have passed before her, you know. So it's like your friends and your family and like your animals and everybody, you know, guides, everything. It seems like they're all there, like trying to help you. And for a while, because it felt like it was taking so long for her to pass, and she was definitely getting frustrated because she was trying to pass, but the will of her body didn't want to go because she very much was fighting to stay, but her spirit was like, get me out of here. And so her body was fighting against her because she was one strong cookie, by the way. And it was like, all of a sudden her family started milling about the room because they're like, come on, Kathy. We all showed up because we thought you were ready to go. And they're like, oh my God, take forever, princess. And she was like, well, you can't start the party without the queen, you know? And so it was just like the family in spirit was like all just waiting. They're like, come on, Kathy, let's get this show on the road. um, Let me see. Let me go back. Da, da, da. Oh, and Lady Knight of Avalon, hello, hello. Sorry, I'm just kind of scrolling through the comments now. Sherrybug said, yes, when I was working in the hospital, I always felt that there was something about being there. And Jenny, I was already shown when he was going to go. The family were like forcing him to go, and I knew it. I was just going to be with him, him and I. Sure enough, it was peaceful light, and I told him he could go home. Yeah, and he looked at me and nodded and goes. He was fighting it too. Yeah, Jenny, it was like that, you know, where it's like you have to, whether saying it out loud or like in your heart, is just like, you know, it's okay to go. Like you can go now, and it just feels like sometimes the body fights the soul. It's like, I want to stay, but the soul's like, nope, I'm ready to go. And so sometimes there's like that fight, but there's a lot of people that I think show up to help you, like with that energy of like help you, bring you over. Plus, I mean, how cool is that thought, that everybody that you've ever lost and loved is like waiting for you. Like to me, that is like the coolest thought ever. And it seems to me, I mean, not that I want to die anytime soon, but when I'm old and decrepit and I'm like 100 years old and I'm going, I think that that would be so like cool and less scary if everybody's just there like rooting for me, like, okay, we're all here for you. To me, that just seems like less creepy, maybe less scary. Um, Let me see. I did that many times as a nurse with the ones that it was for sure time. Told them it's okay to go. Oh my gosh. And, being a nurse like Sherry Bug is like mondo respect for everybody who works in the medical field. Like in all types of healing, whether people are acupuncturists or shamanic healers or they're nurses or doctors practicing Eastern medicine or Western medicine or whatever it may be, in any sort of healing field, I have so much respect, because I know how hard that is. Oh, and especially for veterinarians, mondo respect, because I could not do that. I could not see animals when they are sick. My heart would break every day and I would cry every day. So yes, mondo respect to all of you in the medical field. Cindy said, well, I'm going to take off now. Thank you for your comments. I will see you all later, and a blessed be. Yay! So yay, Cindy. I thank you so much for coming by, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Let me see. A lady night said, my grandma was in a coma getting ready to go. I told her I want her to come back, and even though her eyes were closed, she started crying. I knew she wanted to go. Mm. So yeah, it's maybe, the whole topic of death is just like one of like the hardest things, for humans. And just I know that that's one of like, of all the things that we need to work on, that's like one thing I need to work on personally, is just like that whole thing of death, just because, I have a lot of people that I miss. Jenny said, I used to be a nurse and an OBGYN. Oh, and babies are the hardest, and I couldn't anymore. Oh, no, 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 no. That would be so hard. Oh yeah, I could never be a vet. I would bawl my eyes out every day. Yes. My friend who's like the big opera star now, back in the day, she used to work in a vet's office, and she was like, I couldn't. She was like, there were some that were like, hurt, and of course we treat them, and some that would die. And she goes, and I was like, okay, you know what? This is not for me, and that's okay. That's not for everybody. And for the people who it is for, like, God and Goddess bless them, It's like, that is. Okay, well, let me see okay, we're at 90 minutes. Okay, so we are going to do the one last thing that I wanted to do today. We're going to write a poem together, people. And this will be our healing poem. So it's going to be ours. When we're finished writing it down, I'll read it out loud. Oh, you know what? I will post it. I'll take a picture of it and I will post it to my Facebook page, Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And you guys can, look at the poem, make it fancy if you want, whatever you want. But this will be your guys' poem. I'm just going to get a line from each of you, and each of those lines is going to create a poem. And so I thought a fun style of poetry, which is a style that sometimes well, back when they used to still have poetry with the high schoolers, which I'm bummed that they don't do poetry much anymore, but it's a pantoum. So, which is Pantoum. A pantoum is it's an ABA format, but it has repeating lines. So, we'll give it a title when we're all done. But I need the first 4 lines. So let's just do the first 2 lines. So I need somebody to just give me a sentence. The theme is going to be healing. If you want it to be healing about transition, if you want it to be some sort of personal healing, whatever, we're just going to put this all together just like we did the crystal grid, but now we're using words instead of stones. So Give me a sentence. I need 2 sentences. 2 sentences. It doesn't have to be super flowery. And don't worry if you don't feel like you are a literary master. You don't need to be a literary master. As long as it's coming from your heart, it's good enough. Okay, so think of a sentence, and then we'll have somebody else maybe think of a sentence. It's got, okay, twist the leaf. You're going to be the first sentence. So, from the heart to the head. From the feet to the soul. Okay, so it's going to be line A. Okay, I need a line B. So a sentence from somebody else. Okay, this is one. Rainstorms and prayer, duck feet and dog noses bring together my healing joys. Okay, so rainstorms and prayer, duck feet and dog noses, bring together my healing joys. Okay, for the next line, it needs to rhyme at the end. It needs to rhyme with the word soul. Okay, so that was Twist the Leaf's line. It was from the heart to the head, from the feet to the soul. So I need another sentence, but I need the last word to rhyme with soul. So, guys, give me a sentence. It could be loose rhyme too, you know, by the way. Sharebook's given some words. Okay, so we have intuitions whisper and instincts pull. Okay. Whispers and instincts pull. Okay. Now to go with Sherry Bug's line, her line ended with the word joys. So I need a sentence that rhymes with the word joys. Joys, boys, toys, a noise. Poise, just singular. I mean, the plural is also poi. Okay, so we can have poise. Feel my heartbeat near my voice. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Lady Night. Feel my heartbeat. And like I said, I'll post this on Facebook and maybe Instagram too. Hear my voice. Okay, so that ends the first stanza. So the second line, or second stanza, I guess, it's going to be in that ABAB format again, but some of those lines are repeating. So let me see. 2 and 4. So it starts with line 2 again. So it's going to start with, okay, so this is what we have so far. From the heart to the head, from the feet to the soul, rainstorms and prayer, duck feet and dog noses bring together my healing joys. Intuition's whispers and instincts pull. Feel my heartbeat, hear my voice. Okay, so now we're starting with rainstorms and prayer. Duck feet and dog noses bring together my healing joys. Don't die on me now, pen. Okay, and then line 4 comes down here. So okay, so feel my heartbeat, hear my voice. Okay, so now I need a completely different sentence. So let's see, Jenny has one. May the healing begin with the sound of my voice. Okay. Okay, and I need a word that rhymes with voice. So a sentence ending with a word that rhymes with voice. And that sentence will end our second stanza. Voice. All comes together to culminate in choice. Ooh. All comes together to culminate in choice. Okay, so that's 6. Okay, so now I'm doing A, B again. Okay, so now we're taking line 5. So line 5 is going to be the beginning of the next one. So my healing begins with the sound of my voice. Oh, may the healing begin with the sound of my voice. Okay, so that's 5. And then I'm taking line 6, and that's going to be the one that rhymes with it. So it all comes together to culminate in choice. You guys are writing a good poem, by the way. I like how it's coming together. It's got good flow to it. Okay, so I need just another sentence. Nope, doesn't need to rhyme with anything. Yeah, so this one's just like any old sentence. Again, in the realm of, healing, of course. Let my thoughts be clear and my soul be brave. Okay, so then for the next sentence, we need a sentence that ends with a word that rhymes with brave. So something, something, something rhymes with brave. Okay, and that'll be it for our second to last stanza, and then we have one more, and then your poem is done. Um, a word came to me for the title. I'm gonna write the title down. Okay, I'll show you guys when it's all done. So brave. Well, I think I have a line for that one. Um, all of the souls I wish I could save. You know, rave, enclave. I was thinking of enclave too, but yes. Um, okay, so now for the last one, we're going to take line 7, and that's going to be the beginning of the final stanza. So let my thoughts be clear, my soul be brave. And then we're taking line 8, and that's going to be the third line. So all of souls I wish I could save. Okay, so now we need a line. It doesn't have to rhyme with anything. This will be, yeah. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. No, we take from line 3. Oh, we do. We already have a line. Okay, hold on. It's intuitions, whispers, and instincts pull. Okay, so that was line 3. And then we end with line 1. So actually, this finishes itself. The heart to the head. From the feet to the soul. All right, you guys ready? Here's your poem. I titled it Sapphire. I don't know, just Sapphire felt like a good healing name for this one. So this is your healing pantoum. This is probably backwards for you guys, but I think on the playback it may be not backwards. Maybe. Okay. From the heart to the head, from the feet to the soul, rainstorms and prayer, duck feet and dog noses bring together my healing joys. Intuition's whispers and instincts pull, feel my heartbeat, hear my voice. Rainstorms and prayer, duck feet and dog noses bring together my healing joys. May the healing begin with the sound of my voice. Feel my heartbeat, hear my voice. All comes together to culminate in choice. May the healing begin with the sound of my voice. Let my thoughts be clear and my soul be brave. All comes together to culminate in choice. All of the souls I wish I could save. Let my thoughts be clear and my soul be brave. Intuition's whispers and instincts pull. All of the souls I wish I could save. From the heart to the head, from the feet to the soul. So that is your guys' poem. So maybe I'll type this up so it looks better. So, because right now this is just my chicken scratch scribble. But yeah, maybe I'll type it up for you guys and I will post it to my Facebook page. So that way you have an actual like image of it. So Kittens, Weights, and Tarot is my Facebook page. Yeah, I'll post it there. And hey, Young! And maybe I'll post it to my Instagram stories, maybe, because I think you can see it better on Instagram stories. And then, you guys can screenshot it or whatever you guys want to do. If you guys want to retype it yourselves or, make it all fancy schmancy, you can. Can we see it on Facebook even if we're not a part of Facebook? I'm pretty sure I don't have a private account. I think you can just well, Kittens, Weights, and Tarot is not a private account, so you guys can just like go view it if you want. Yeah, so I'll put it on my Instagram stories. So my Instagram is at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. So you can view it on there. I'll put it there. I'll put it on Facebook, like wherever is like good for you guys. And you know what? Let me give you guys credit. So if you helped put this together, just say me, so that way I'm not leaving anybody out. And then that way when I post it, I'll say created by all you guys. Okay, so just say me, so that you know, like, hey, I helped too. Just so I can. Okay, so twist the leaf. Sherry Bug D, and Lady Knight of Avalon. Oh, and one more. Lady Knight of Avalon and Jenny 4578. Okay, so did I get everybody? Yes. Yes. Okay. And I threw in a line too, so and me. Okay, so yeah, that was all, you guys. So Young, we were creating a poem for healing, but it was a community poem. We've created a crystal grid. You can always go back and see the crystal grid that we created together. That was based around healing. We talked a little bit about like there are some of us here who do energy work, do shamanic healing, do a lot of different types of healing. Some people work in the actual like medical field, so it was just kind of like a healing centered like chat today. And then we created a poem together, and I just titled the poem Sapphire. So I only created one of the lines and the title, but everybody else who is listed here created the rest of this beautiful pantoum. So it's, just kind of centered around healing, and I think it's beautiful. You guys created a beautiful poem. So yeah, I'm more than happy later today to type this up for you guys. So posting it on Facebook and posting it on Instagram stories, probably also my Instagram page, like whatever is good for you guys. So that way you guys don't have to look at my chicken scratch. I'll do a nice type up. And then whatever you guys want to do with it, if you want to, type it up yourselves and like print it out, or you want to, but just, if you share it or anything, just make sure that you tag everybody else who helped with it. So, Twist the Leaf, Sherry Bug D, Lady Knight of Avalon, Jenny 4378, and moi, yeah. So yeah, I love doing this stuff with you guys. I like doing like community, like interactive, like let's do stuff together, because I think that's how we learn best, is when we learn together, when we work together, and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do today. And let me just, I neglected my seaweed that I was eating at the beginning of the live chat. All that kind of like energy stuff makes me kind of hungry, so. Okay. I'm gonna pull a card today. Just as like an overall general message for us. So it's just one card for like all of us. I'll send you guys off with a healing. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. I thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with me. I know it's well, depending on where you are, it's probably like a beautiful day today. So I guess I hope you enjoy your day and your, all of that. I do have a Patreon. Oh, well, Jenny, thank you for asking. It's Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. So yeah, it's patreon.com/Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. If you want to help me out on Patreon, like there's different tiers, but honestly, some people just, they're comfortable with the $1 tier. And they still get, there's the free weekly readings. I do monthly crystal grids with them. I do live chats for mediumship, for healing. Sometimes just like a whatever, we would just like talk, just like I do here. I create like personal like spreads just for them. Um, yeah, there's some good stuff. You guys can go over and join the tribe if you want. So yeah, thank you for asking. And Sherebook said seaweed chips just don't sound good to me. I don't know. I love seaweed. I don't know. Maybe it's growing up in the Filipino household. We just like fish and seaweed and all that good stuff. I mean, a lot of people are like fish, yes, seaweed. Okay, what deck do I want to use with you guys? I want to use... Let me think about this. Maybe because I'm hungry, I want to use the Cook's Tarot. Yes, this is what we will use. Ugh. Okay. My Cook's Tarot, by the way, is in my little llama pouch. Yay, thank you. Yes, seaweed chips are yummy. You know what I also like? Shrimp chips. I get them at 99 Ranch, which is the Korean market. Shrimp chips are so good. They're so fishy and so shrimpy. I don't know. That probably makes other people sick, but the fishier, the better. I like it. Okay, so this is my the Cook's Tarot. This is the back. So it actually is like spatulas and tongs. OMG, love llamas. Yes, shrimp chips. Shrimp sounds a bit like a cat treat. Well, you know what? The kitties like it too. The kitties like it too. Okay, well, I'm eating cat food. Whatever. Good for a human, good for a cat. You know who else likes my seaweed? Loki. You know who hates seafood and anything seafood, seaweed, fish? Wally. Wally's like, give me the beef. Loki's like, give me the fish. I mean shrimp chips. I love shrimp itself. Yeah, there are some people just like the shrimpies, but not when it is turned into a puff. A little crunchy puff. I sent you a message in Facebook, but I couldn't send a photo to show you something. Maybe try sending it on Messenger. Kittens, Weights, and Tarot on Messenger. Maybe try that. My Duchess loves veggies and Bella meat. My gosh. So yeah, maybe try Messenger. Maybe you can send a photo. I know you can send a photo on Instagram Messenger too, or Instagram. Is that what it's called? Messenger message. I know people message on Instagram, but it's at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. So try with one medium, try the other. That's what I try. I like try all different types of like mediums. Like I'm gonna try Facebook. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna try Instagram, which is why I try to post to a few different areas because I don't know like what works for people. So if some people are like just Facebook people, some people are like YouTube people, some people are just like Instagram people. I try to do whatever. Okay, so one message for all of us today. I'm gonna see if anything pops in my head. Okay, you know what popped into my head? Where do you go, my lovely? Where do you go? I wanna know, oh, oh, my lovely. Where do you go? I wanna know, oh, 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 oh. Where do you go, oh, 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 oh. Where do you go, oh, 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 oh. Where do you go? Oh my god. Oh, who sings that? Oh my god, this makes me think of Night at the Roxbury. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Let's see. My ducks like watermelon and frozen peas. Who doesn't like watermelon? I know about frozen peas. Twist the Leaf. I left Facebook when they told me I had to show them my passport. What? Oh my god. That is... Whoa. What? That's crazy. Jenny said, I love that song. No Mercy. Yes, yes. I love the Night at the Roxbury soundtrack, by the way. For some reason, my driver's license wasn't good enough for them to prove I'm me. Oh, on Facebook? You have to show your driver's license. You know, it's been so long. You know, I got Facebook like a long time ago. I don't remember what I had to do to sign up. So yeah, if they're asking for a passport, like I'd freaking leave too. That's crazy. Okay, so we have No Mercy playing in my head. Where do you go? Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so that's playing too. And we have the Queen of Swords. So we got this queen. She's writing stuff down. She's having herself what? Some sushi, like little California rolls maybe. Um, oh my God. Okay, I know this isn't California rolls, but I'm having seaweed. I was literally like writing down this poem with you guys. What? Okay, let's look at the message here. Let me see. Twist the Leaf says they don't make you when you sign up. It comes if they think you've been hacked or if they think you're not you. Oh, interesting. But the original is Peter Sarset. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm like. Oh, and Sherry Bug was thinking sushi a bit ago. Oh my gosh, this is like just what we were doing. And then she's got the, I think that's supposed to be a compass, but to me that's like a stopwatch. You know, I keep looking at the time, making sure like my live chat isn't like too long, you know, because I know you guys got stuff to do. I was talking about the sword today. Oh my gosh, that, you know, oh my gosh. Okay, so message. Because obviously it's me giving you guys the message. Oh wow. Okay, this message. Okay, hold on. I have to plug my phone in. It's gonna die. Hold on. Plugging phone in. Stat. Come on, phone. Okay. So the message to me for you guys is, you know, we were talking all about healing today. You know, and this is just reinforcement. It says, yes, we're looking at you guys. We're looking at like me and like, it's like, okay, we're going to make this synchronistic so that you guys pay attention. So today's message is that you guys have the power to create healing however that looks like in your environment. So whether you actually do healing work, whether you actually work in a medical field, whatever it may be, you can, there are also other ways that bring healing, like the crystal grid that we created together. Maybe you don't have a bazillion stones, you know, laying around, but there are rocks like out in the yard. There's like, you know, and there's seashells. Remember we talked about seashells? So there are different bits and bobs in your environment. You can create your own personal crystal grid, you know, for healing based on, you know, your surroundings, which would make it even more personal because it's of home. You know, poetry, whether you guys are like you love writing poetry and you guys were like creative writing majors and whatnot, like that doesn't matter. You know, that doesn't affect your ability to write. So just writing the writing something down, whether you think it looks like print worthy or not, is very healing. Writing in a journal. Maybe you like to sing. Maybe you like singing off key, and that's totally cool. All of that's healing. So healing doesn't always have to look like somebody sitting down and getting ready for you know, some healing. You know, it could be anything that brings you joy in your heart. And feel, I'm just like flower. She's got the yellow crown too. Oh, she's got the flower right here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this message is like hello, like we are all in this card. So yeah, it's you know, I think that's just on purpose, like to help us pay attention. But yeah, just know that, you know, we all have the power to create some sort of healing in our lives, emotional healing or whatever it may be. And, when people say, hey, please send prayers to so and so, that does help. Who was it earlier? It was talking about, I think it was Cindy talking about, intention, your intention to send love and kindness and joy to somebody. It does help. We all carry within us an energetic body that's within us, and when we want to send energy, like sending love is an energy to somebody, just like negative emotions, we're sending that goes too, because we're energy. We can send out energy and we could receive energy because we are energy. So this is just a reminder that you guys have power. Don't look at somebody else as having more power than you. You are just a ball of energy, just like everybody else, and you have within you a great amount of power to enact healing in whatever form that may be. Whether you like to color outside the lines, sing off key, write a poem that doesn't rhyme, who cares? If it makes you happy, have fun. So that is the message today. So by hearing the song Where Do You Go, like by No Mercy, to me it was like, have no mercy for the thought that, like, I can't do healing like this other person. Your healing that probably just looks like different than that other person. And that's okay. We all have different versions of healing, as was mentioned earlier today. Some people were like, I heal this way. Some people were like, I ground myself and I heal from the earth. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and that's what makes us all unique, and that's what makes the world go round. Let me see. The waiters in the back look like doctors, surgeons, reminding me of the topic before. Yes, water too is healing. It's kind of like the cafe in your dream too. Oh my God, this is like so synchronistic. And color, I've been doing coloring to pass the time while I'm off work. There you go. So yeah, my aunt used to do that when she became like housebound. She was like really sick, and so she had really like started enjoying coloring. So I loved picking out like coloring books for her, like unicorn coloring books. So yeah, that's our message today. You guys have the power to heal in whatever form that may be. It doesn't necessarily mean somebody who sits down and is like, doing healing. You bring within you your own healing light. Everybody is unique in that fashion. Oh, my necklace. It's from the Witch's Moon, but I love this necklace so much. I keep it on my bedside. It's the sunrise, and it just says, hold on, my spirit is strong and shines like the sun. And to me, that just like really strikes a chord with me. So, yeah, I love the sunrise. So, or the sunset. Sunrises and sunsets. All right, so yay! I had a fun live chat. I hope you guys had fun hanging out with me. I thank you guys so much for creating that beautiful crystal grid. So like I said, you guys can go like scrub back to the beginning of this live chat, take a picture of it, whatever you guys want to do with the crystal grid. You guys created it. The same thing with the poem. I'll try later today, because we do have to go see George the cat, over at my dude's dad's house, and just kind of, say our goodbyes to him. So today, though, I do promise that I will type up the poem, and I'm going to try to post it to Facebook and Instagram, whatever is your preferred medium to view stuff on. And yeah, I thank you guys for coming out. I had a lot of fun. You guys always like fill me with so much joy and good fuzzy feelings. And hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you for being so welcoming. I really enjoyed your chat. Thank you so much. And Twist the Leaf, I hope you had, fun, and that you come visit us again. We as in, I guess maybe that's the royal we and all of us. We have a live chat almost every Saturday at 10:30. If I'm not doing a live chat, I'll always do a YouTube post saying, hey, no live chat today. So that way you're not like popping on and being like, okay, where the deuce? Where is she? So if I'm not going to be on, I'll always make sure that there's a post that says I won't be here. But for the most part, I'm usually always here at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, San Diego, on YouTube. Da, 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 da. Hugs and loving energy to George. Thank you so much. I'm as much as you guys want to send him, please do so. This community is awesome. I agree. And da, 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 da. And thank you, Nagira. Thank you so much. And, many blessings to you as well. Twist the Leaf said, definitely coming back. Yay! All right. So, like I said, I'm just going to send you guys off with a healing. You don't have to stay at all. Just know energy transcends time, right? So, where you are, time and space. So you can go about your day. If you're driving, like, yeah, you continue your driving. Hopefully you're not like watching YouTube while you're driving. But whatever you guys are doing, go ahead, continue whatever you're doing. All you have to do is either say aloud, say in your head, leave it on the comments. I am open to receiving healing, or I want this healing to go to so and so. I want this healing to go to so and so, just like we did the crystal grid, and that's fine. So my healing is just a few minutes, maybe like a couple minutes. And my intention is just to send you guys with it's a calming energy, so a fun calming energy, and that is it. So yeah, so you guys can stay here, but I'm just gonna be quiet and just gonna kind of put up my hands, or you can leave and go about your day. So you don't necessarily have to like stay here to receive it. It's totally up to you. So in the meantime, sending you guys lots of love, and I'm hoping you're having a wonderful weekend. And again, I really, really, really do from the bottom of my heart appreciate you guys that come here and hang out with me, because you could do like whatever else you want to do on a Saturday. So by hanging out with me is like hits me right here, yo. Okay, so here we go. Ooh. All right. Thank you guys for stopping by, and yay. So yeah, like people were asking earlier, just like all my social media, like if you guys want to like hang out in other places too. I mean, for the most part, I'm on YouTube, but yeah, if you guys have Instagram and you like hanging out over there, or you want to message over there, you just want to say hello, it's at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. My Facebook is Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. My website, www.kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And so my website has there's always like a picture of the day, like video of the day. I have a blog on there. It's mostly just like spreads. It's like a tarot spread or oracle spread blog. You guys can check it out. I have a newsletter, but I only send one newsletter a month because, I don't like spamming people. So it's only one newsletter a month, and that's, if you want to sign up for it. It's usually just me doing a ramble, like it's a blog newsletter. um, I'm going to message you. I heard you. So yeah, there's that. Of course I have like readings, but I do all different types because some people like resonate with different types of readings. So I make sure that, I practice different types of readings so that I can accommodate you guys. So I have a different variation of you guys to choose from. Ooh, I have my Wally's World Oracle update. If you guys pre-ordered the Wally's World Oracle, which you can still pre-order, they're shipping out next week to me. Yay! My Wally's World Oracle is coming to Kittens, Weights, and Tarot HQ. So, yeah, they'll be making their way across the ocean to me. And then I can start fulfilling my pre-orders. Like, all the people that back me on Kickstarter will start getting them, as soon as I package them and make sure that everybody's like getting like their tiers, and I want to make sure that I don't mess anybody's stuff up. Plus I have to go through all the cards, make sure they're perfect and all of that. So yay, I'm so excited. Whew. And that's a community-based deck because you guys know I like to do the community stuff. So every picture in there was submitted either by myself or a community member of their sacred healing places. And somewhere in there is my little Wally Wallito. So yeah, that's on my website too if you want to check that out. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in, and I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your Saturday, whether it's sunny or rainy or cloudy or it's nighttime, like whatever. Thank you guys for coming by. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming by.